we could display that data. One way is a frequency table, just like we did before. And then remember how from a frequency table we got a bar graph for qualitative data. Well, here the difference is instead we get what's called a histogram chart. Okay. I mean, mostly with a histogram chart, the big difference, as I have here, is that, I mean, it's like a bar graph. It's just that the horizontal axis is a number line. For bar graphs, the horizontal axis, right, had the variable values, you know, like the different colors, like blue, green, orange, or the different classes people like, math, social studies, history, that kind of thing. Here, though, it's the number line. The vertical axis will still represent frequency. And I should say this also, that this might confuse you a bit, but when we see an example, I think it'll make sense. In the histogram, you do have bars, so it does look at first like a bar graph. However, the bar, that represents all values bigger than or equal to the left side of the bar, up to but not including the right-hand side. In other words, you know, when we get to an example, I think it'll make more sense. I do go through how to make one. It's very similar to how we make a regular bar graph. You just have to be a little bit, you have to do an extra step or two. You have to do this thing called bucket size, where with bucket size, though, that's just how thick the bars are, how wide they are, how do I say it? What their width are, that's better. I couldn't think of the word. What is annoying, though, is I think I wrote it, I hope I wrote it here. Yeah, you have to list the entire data in one column. Remember how so far we've made a frequency table? Well, with histograms, you have to actually list all the data in a column. Unless this is something I'm missing, I don't know. I mean, I know there are more advanced statistical software packages. I know there's like Minitab, I think. I'm not sure what others there are. I do know, though, with Google Sheets at least, I think Excel, you have to do this also. You have to list all the data. But this is what I was trying to say. So here's an example. We have this frequency table, and these are scores on a quiz or test that's out of 20. You would have to list all the data like this in one column. I mean, it's not terrible, but, you know, it's not as nice as a frequency table. Here, though, we have like 0 listed twice, 5 is listed once, 12 is listed once, and so on. It's not terrible, but not as nice as when we made a bar graph. But this is what I was trying to say before. Each bar, you can see, since the horizontal axis is the number line, so each base of the bar here, as you can see, it's almost like an interval. This will include all numbers, all scores in this case, greater than or equal to the left-hand side, or 0, strictly less than the right-hand side, which is 2. So this will have all scores greater than or equal to 0, but less than 2. So just 0 in this case. Here we have all scores greater than or equal to 4, less than 6, so there's only 5. We have 12 through 14, but again, greater than or equal to 12, less than 14, there's only 1 value. Here also we have greater than or equal to 14, less than 16, so just 15. Here it looks like we have 16 and 17, right? Greater than or equal to 16, but strictly less than 18. You have 2 of them, 16, which is 2, 17 is 4, as you can see. So 6 scores are in this interval. They'll close at, no wait, I didn't go over that. Greater than or equal to 16, less than 18. And we have 18, 19, right? It's 12. That's why this one is 12. This is greater than or equal to 18, but less than 20. Now let's see. I don't have time really to. I mean, to make it, what I would have to make this, what I would have to do is type all this into one column. And when I said bucket size before, I think some call it bin size. That's just basically how the width of each of these intervals. So, I know if you do happen to have a TI-83, the book goes into how to make a histogram using that. But again, I'm not going to require you to make one using a TI-83 calculator. This was just another example. I mean, next time I can actually make these in Google Sheets. But let's say we had these test scores instead, as you can see. If I were to make a histogram, this is what I would get. I mean, for instance, here you can see that it looks like there's about one score that's greater than or equal to 30, but less than, it's kind of hard to see. It looks like, I guess, 32. And let me see, where is that? That would be, oh, here's 30 right here. You go here, these are the scores bigger than or equal to 70. It looks like they're less than, I guess, 72. It looks like there's 6. Let's see if we can find them. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, you know, we have those things. All right. Don't want to go too far. I mean, next we were going to do some examples, but I guess we could stop here. I don't want to go too far ahead of the other class. So I guess what we can do is we can stop here. Okay, let me stop the recording.